In this video, I'm walking you through one of the most popular two-story homes with Chesmar. This is the Remington plan. Now, before I give you the specs, I will tell you this specific home is so unique because upstairs, it has a second floor balcony. We're also on a cul-de-sac, and so the backyard is incredible. So I'm excited for you to see that. This specific home is approximately 3,454 square feet. It has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, has a 3-car garage. And again, upstairs, we got that second floor balcony. We got a lot of great design upgrades I'm going to talk about. And that backyard is special. Now, this specific home is for sale at $891,000. $891,725 to be exact. And I just spoke with the builder agent. I actually have a client who's under contract with this builder in this neighborhood called Palmera Ridge in Leander, Texas. And so in terms of pricing, reach out to me. I think there's some interesting things happening in pricing for some of these homes that are complete like this one. Now, like usual, we're going to start right in the kitchen, and I'm going to go room by room to cover this home in detail. Now, what I see from buyers walking these homes, asking about different upgrades in the inventory homes, so a lot of buyers say they love these light countertops, but they want to see good movement in it. Now, I recognize this countertop. I may have picked this for our home in our design studio when we built from scratch. I believe this is Calicut gold, and you can see some fine touches of gold throughout there. It's a beautiful countertop. I might be a little bit biased since I do have it in our kitchen, but it is something that is a very good upgrade with most builders. Now, that's an apron sink that opens up into the living room that has that electrical fireplace with that great tile that has some fantastic movement in it. Spinning my camera around, I do like this backsplash. They kept it simple, but they put it in a herringbone pattern above this 5-burner gas stovetop, and that backsplash pulls out the veins that are in this countertop. And then I think what complements it really well is this designer vent hood. Now I want to give you a closer look at that backsplash against the countertop one more time. You can see those veins on the left side and that backsplash just pulling out those veins. Now, I got to tell you, years ago when I was getting into real estate, I thought, that's just marketing. I don't think design makes that much of a difference. After walking hundreds and hundreds of homes with clients as a realtor, I can promise you that this makes a massive difference. This is what people look at when they're making buying decisions, and sometimes they don't even know it. They're buying into a home emotionally because they absolutely fall in love with the design. And as I've gone through this year after year after year, I've represented clients with 20 different builders now. I've built from scratch over 100 times. I can tell you, I have a lot of respect now for design and great design upgrades and design options and great designers that you work with and game plan together to try to put together these beautiful homes. Now, I want to show you what that looks like continuing here in the living room where you have this wide open main living area. You have electrical running over that fireplace with that tile running all the way up to the ceiling. I think to kind of talk a little bit about design, when you have this much movement in a tile, I think you can run it horizontally like they showed here. It just has so much movement. I've had a lot of buyers actually find a tile where there's a lot of movement left and right, so then they turn that tile vertically, and then it goes all the way up to the ceiling. It just forces your eyes to go upward when you have that upgrade around that fireplace. Now, electrical. A lot of people ask about this. Yes, fireplaces are really just for show, so it's not like people are using this to heat this entire main living area. But you get a good way to break up that wall on that side, and that's a very good design element. On the back left of the home, we have this dining area. That's the patio door that we're going to get out next. I can't wait to show you that backyard. And on this home, we have the dining right off of the kitchen. So at the front of the home, we do have a study. I'm going to get back to the primary bedroom that's on that side before we get upstairs. But before we get there, I want to show you this back patio. And by the way, later on in the video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the community that we're in, which is called Palmera Ridge, as well as what's happening here in Leander, Texas. one of the fastest growing suburbs in the U.S. Is it worth it? As it seems like with pricing right now and the amount of sales that builders are getting, I think you got to be asking yourself in a lot of these places, is it worth it? Now, what I find a lot of buyers tell me about a space like this and whether it's worth it is they love it. This is the dream, having a massive backyard like this. It's incredible. They did keep a lot of trees here. I mean, there are a lot of trees in Leander and the Austin metro area. I think a lot of people come out here for the beauty. Not all builders do this, though. Some of these builders, or I should say developers, when they develop these lots, they just level everything. It just kind of makes it easier to build everything out, makes it less complex when they talk about diverting water to where they want it to go. But here they kept a lot of trees, and then you have this patio to just enjoy that big backyard. And we do have neighbors off to the right side, off of the back of the home, but just keep in mind, and one of those neighbors just came out, so I don't want to get them on video, but what I will tell you is you can always plant your own trees. You just have to abide by what the HOA guidelines have for each community. And I've had people do that in their community just to give them a little bit more privacy. But either way, I think you get good privacy off of that home, off the back of the home, and it's great here. All right, now, in terms of where I want to go next, first I wanted to show it. So I think I showed the pantry on this side, which was here. By the way, that's leftover paint in case you want to do touch-ups. It's a touch-up kit right there. This is going to be the garage, where we have a 3-car garage. And that's able to be done on this plan because of the cul-de-sac lot, which is great. And then we have the primary bedroom and bathroom here. Now, if you're wondering, hey, this is a 2-story plan, where's the stairwell? Chesmar really likes to do this in a lot of their homes where it's almost like a hidden stairwell is what I would call it. It's in the back of the home, and I'll point it out to you, and I would just say it's not for everybody. I think for some people that want that grand entrance with the curved staircase, obviously you're not going to see that in this plan. But for some buyers that say, hey, I don't want the staircase to hit me in the face as soon as you walk in through the front door, then I think this is a very interesting plan. Also, I think this is a great primary bedroom where they really capture the beauty in the backyard here, where you have all of those trees, all that greenery. It looks fantastic. Tray ceiling helps in this bedroom. I always love tray ceilings. I think ceiling height and windows make a big difference and are underrated in a lot of cases. And then also we have the primary bathroom. So we have a good tile that gives you good movement along the floor. You have a dark tile in the shower, which I think you can get away with because of how wide open that shower is. And then you have a freestanding tub, that oval tub, which I think is so popular right now. And then we have, I keep running into the doorstop. And then you have 2 sinks right next to each other. Okay, let me give you a look at that shower. Again, I think you can get away with a darker tile here on the floor and on the walls going all the way up to the ceiling, just because you got a window right here providing a line of great natural light. I don't even have the light on in this shower, as you can tell, because I don't really need it. And then you have a window right off of the shower above the tub. Now, instead of doing blinds here on this window, by the way, there is a 3M film that can keep that open, but it keeps it private. So it looks like, I think it's a reflective material. So if you're looking at it from the outside, it reflects out, but you can see from the inside looking out. In other words, it gives you privacy while keeping that window open. I have a client that I'm going to be posting a video. They just closed on their home, so I'm going to be posting a video of it on my main channel, Raj Safu, and they have an incredible view off the back of their home. It's a great elevation. They do back up to the road, so to give themselves privacy, they're going to put that film on all their windows in the back of the home. So I'm excited to show that. As that cul-de-sac I was referring to, it's where you get this big lot, such a huge size. And you get a good sized closet. I like how they put this median in the middle, and that just kind of keeps things separate from around the corner. And I think this closet is a really good size when you do that. And then I don't want to forget it, otherwise people get angry. Where's the commode? In the primary bathroom. I don't want to forget the commode. It's right in there. And then if I don't open a door, it's usually because it's a linen closet. Now, getting out of the primary bedroom and bathroom, as you can tell, it's kind of tucked in right there off of the living room. Got that huge backyard that we've already seen. I didn't show it when you first walk in. We do have, I like this pitch in the ceiling, just provides a great spot for a chandelier, as you see here. And then we have a powder bathroom right here. Good spot for it, right off of the main living area. And wait until we get upstairs, we still have that second floor balcony. We have a unique upstairs that has a large game room that goes to that balcony, and then a few bedrooms. On the first floor here, we do have a study. I like the windows that are off the front wall. Provides a lot of great natural light in here. And then again, this looks out to the front of the home where we have that cul-de-sac. And you see some gentlemen out there, a lot of homes under construction. In fact, there's a home that's in green in the back. That's the Ziploc system behind Chesmar's Homes. That's the board they use, which is good. Those homes actually have a view, or they back up to greenery. So there's a big cliff on that side, and then there's no homes behind them. So there's some really interesting options there. I believe they still have one left at the time I'm posting this video. Now this is that hidden staircase I was showing you. So this is that dining area in the back. There's that patio that we just went out to. And then before we head upstairs, I want to show you the utility room where they did this really fun tile. I like how you can do a busier tile in here. It looks busy, but trust me, when you have a washer, dryer in here, you have maybe some furniture to fold clothes, or a desk or something that you want to put in here to be able to fold clothes on, or built-in cabinetry, which a lot of my buyers do, it will look very different. And I think doing a fun tile like this in a space like this is so much fun. In fact, one of my clients is building from scratch. Shout out to them if they're watching. I don't know why they would be watching. They've already designed their home, but they picked some really cool tiles in their laundry room, powder bathroom, all sorts of cool stuff. Now, this is the closet that goes underneath the staircase, which I think is so important. I grew up in Pennsylvania, where we had a lot of big basements. We also had a huge attic space, but it was different. It was like a 1960s home. It's kind of how they built them back in the day. And I remember my parents are from India. They immigrated here in the 70s, and I went back and forth to India as a child often. And I would always just remember trying to get all the suitcases. It would take so long to get all the suitcases out. And then so many of my buyers, they come here and they're like, where are we going to put our suitcases? So I think that's actually a good spot for suitcases. And storage is so important because we don't have basements in here. And I find it's often overlooked. I told you about that cliff off of those homes on the right side. It kind of gives you an idea of the views that are here. Leander has beautiful topography, and I think this home captures not necessarily the topography, but definitely the greenery that's here. But you can see what I mean by the topography that's there right off of this window. This is a beautiful desk area. I like how they have it built in right at the top of the stairwell. The good use of space up here, otherwise it would just be dead space. And then before we get to that game room and that balcony, I want to show you a couple of the bedrooms that are here and talk a little bit about Leander. Now, Leander, right at the beginning of the pandemic, it was red hot. There were a lot of announcements that came up. Like there were big developments that were announced, like Leander Northline. There are others that were announced that are still in the works. Leander Northline's one of the developments that's actually under construction right now. And all it is a mixed-use development space. Now, I don't want to say all it is. That makes it sound like it's not a huge deal. It's a massive development. There aren't many places in America where they're just investing, millions of dollars, sometimes $1 billion into some of these developments. Mixed-use development just means that it's a space where you can park your car, walk around, and you can go to shops, you can go to restaurants. There'll be things to do at this area. And mixed-use development meaning there might be like apartments there as well, or condos, and just a place where you can park your car, walk around, and have a good time. And a good example of what that looks like that has done really well is the Domain. The Domain is 10 miles north of downtown Austin, and it is a really successful area where people have built restaurants, shops. A couple tech companies have went there. A couple tech companies have come close by, like Apple, Amazon's close by. It's such a great success story here in Austin. And oftentimes people say, well, what else is coming? And what else is coming? The next announcement was really Leander. Leander got announced with some developments there. By the way, that was a bedroom with a Jack and Jill full bathroom that's accessible from the hallway, so guests can use it as well as that bedroom. And this is a look at the game room that has that balcony that we're going to go out to next. Huge game room. Now, getting back to Leander, it was so popular, I think people just started bidding ridiculous amounts for homes and lots. And there were some communities, I won't mention them by name, where people were bidding very large six-figure amounts just on the lot to build some of these homes from scratch. And some of those areas, though, had beautiful topography and great views, something that nobody ever saw before, and they didn't even know existed in Austin. I didn't know it existed. That's why I actually got into real estate. I started touring these areas thinking, man, I want to live here, but I keep telling everybody about these areas. Why don't I just get into real estate? And that happened about 5 years ago now. But my point is, now Leander is closing out a lot of these huge master plan communities that had lots of inventory, like the one I'm in, Palmera Ridge, where it had 4 to 5 builders at any time building. Now it's finishing out with Chesmar Homes, really the only builder that has a lot of inventory left. And when I say a lot, maybe about 6 to 7 homes left. I think there are 2 other builders that have 1 or 2 homes left. And that's really it. And that's the future of Leander. If you look around, there isn't a ton of land where they can just keep developing and put master plan communities with 4, 5, 6, 7 different builders building in it. A lot of the growth has gone north of Leander in Liberty Hill. If you look around my channel, I think I mentioned I have 1 community in Liberty Hill. I had 11 closings in it last year. Those are people that don't necessarily need to be around downtown, but it's not like they want to live out in the country either. They found a really good master plan community that was there, and that's really the future growth of Austin. Leander will have different pockets of land where they might have big lots like this, but it'll probably be either luxury home product or the opposite, small product with detached condos where it's very small lots and homes that are built vertically, like 2 or 3 story plans. That's how you monetize the land. I don't think you're gonna have too many opportunities like this where you have like a balcony that looks out the trees and different things like this that I think are really interesting opportunities. And that's why I'm out here to tour a home like this, to show you what's possible here around the Austin metro area. Now, what's funny is 7 years ago, maybe 5 to 7 years ago, in that range, there was a suburb close by to Leander, a little bit closer in, called Cedar Park. And at that time, Cedar Park had new construction options, but it was dwindling down. And then by the time the pandemic hit and buyer demand surged, everything got bought up in Cedar Park. It was just left and right, everything sold out. And then there wasn't really that much land to keep developing Cedar Park. And that's why you just don't see big master plan communities in Cedar Park. It just hasn't existed for a couple of years. And my point is, now that same thing is happening in Leander. And that's how these cities in Texas grow. It makes sense. We got nothing but land, so we just keep growing outward. We build these huge highway systems, so even when you live 10, 20, 30 miles outside the city, you can still get around. Don't get me wrong, it's not always ideal. I think you have to look at each of these communities and ask yourself, what do the trends look like for supply? What do the trends look like for demand? And what's happening from a development standpoint, both for amenities that are around you and highway system is really important to track, because that's also going hand in hand with the growth that's here in Austin. And by the way, this is the 3rd bedroom upstairs. It has an en-suite full bathroom that we just saw, and it's private from the other 2 bedrooms because it's on the other side of the game room that was right here. My whole point in sharing that with you is, a lot of people ask me good questions like, is it the right time to buy? Should I be going to Leander, or should I be going north of there to Liberty Hill, or should I be getting a resale in Cedar Park? My answer is always the same. It depends on your criteria. Some people ask me, is it the right time to buy? If you tell me you're at one price, I'll tell you don't buy right now. The market's flooded. It's way too much supply. I can show you what those numbers look like. But if you tell me you're at a different price point and you're looking at an area like Leander, I might tell you to buy because it's dwindling down. And once that inventory dwindles down and there's no more new construction options, supply dwindles down, what happens? Prices tend to go up. I can give you an example of two of my clients who just contracted in the last month in Leander in a community where the builders just increased prices $50,000. Now that's on $1 million plus products, so I don't want you to think prices are escalating like 10%. That ended up being like 1 to 2.5% for that specific home. But still, it's something. It's $50,000, right? So I don't know what that looks like, just generally speaking. I'll tell you, you have to look at the details. I know the details of each of these communities, so if you need help with that, reach out to me. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video. If you want to see more homes for sale like this one, go ahead and click at the top of the description of this video. That's a link to my website that shows you all homes for sale. And finally, if you want to see another home for sale in Leander, go ahead and click right here. And as always, hope this helps. Take care, everyone.